ahead, put it on real tight. Hope you brought your best tonight. They say they got the fireworks, yeah, they say they got the show. Here around the chutes, you're the best, so let's go.
This is Texas Toast. I'm your host, Miss Helen. Kick back and enjoy as we toast the best from Texas. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Texas on Tap with Miss Helen, along with producer Kyle. How's your day going?
My day is going. We just talked about, it's kind of gross outside, and I guess for some reason I was expecting it would be nice and sunny on your end of the earth. And no, it looks pretty dark.
We don't have it that bad. I just saw some lightning, little rumble of thunder, but it should clear out because we're going to go fish.
Okay, cool. Well, that's nice. Gives me something to look forward to. I'm staring out my window right now, and it's been pretty gloomy all day. I actually slept in for the first time in a long time because the sun didn't wake me up. So.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it was nice. I probably needed it, but it's just unusual for me. So.
Yes.
A weird start to today so far.
Yes. Well, we're going to roll into some music. You want to get started?
Yeah, I'll get going this week. So I've got a couple interesting tunes that I want to talk about, and they're all artists that you guys should be familiar with if you've been hanging in with us for a while. I'm going to start off with a song by Kat Hasty. We've all been hearing her name for quite a while, and I know she's going through some interesting stuff right now with her voice, but I expect her to come back even stronger after she's fully recovered. This song is called Where the Wildflowers Lay, and she did I think it's called Vinyl Sessions. She had put the song out previously, but the one that's kind of doing really well right now is this live version. The reason I wanted to talk about this song is because I just feel like it really embodies Kat and, her songwriting style, and it just sounds like real mysterious, and she's got this really pretty vibrato that just comes through really well in the live version. But it's one of those songs where you listen and the simple instrumentation, there's not a whole lot going on. It just forces you to really dive in and pay attention to the story of, what she's talking about, which whenever that happens for me, I just can't get over it because I don't normally even really pay attention to the lyrics. Oddly enough.
See, I know that's what's so funny about me and you is I'm such the lyric person, and you're more of that's why we're such a good match, because You're more of you listen to the music and instrumentation, which I listen to also,
of course.
But I'm all about the lyrics.
Yeah, it's just funny, every time I say that, and it happens often, but as a songwriter, you would think that I really am focusing on lyrics, but for whatever reason, that's not how my brain works, and it takes me a minute typically to, actually focus on that. But yeah, great song from Kat. She's got a ton of other awesome music out, so check her out for sure. The next one's a band that I've kind of been hesitant to talk about, and it's just weird. I have mixed feelings about this band, and
I did too.
And I've seen them live, and they put on a solid show, and I don't really know. But so this song, I actually didn't realize they even put out. Somehow it missed my radar. They heavily promoted the single before, but this is called "Can't Answer Why" by Giovannie and The Hired Guns. So, like I said, I've seen them before a couple times. They put on a good show. To me, they're right on the line of that country, not country. I'm not sure. What is this? Do I like it? Do I not like it? But this song, I wouldn't call it country, but I really liked it.
Well, and they remind me a lot of Copper Chief. I'm a big Copper Chief fan.
Fair enough. Totally. Yeah.
And I, it's a little heavy, but I liked it.
Right. Yep. And so, like I said, this one caught me off guard. I didn't even realize they put it out because of how heavily the other single was promoted. But the reason that I think this song set with me so well is because of my musical performance roots. And there's a lot of distorted guitars, and it's a really catchy chorus, and it's it's poppy. And so although it's not super consistent with a lot of the other country music that we talk about on here, I really like the song. It's got the pop punk guitars and those vocal melodies, and I think that they did a really good job with this one. So if Gio and these guys keep putting out stuff like this, I will continue to be a fan.
Yes.
And then the last song that I'm going to talk about, we actually get to listen to today, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear this song.
I am too. I'm so excited.
So talk about summer song in October.
Yes.
I'm here for it, especially on a day like this, where it's nice and gloomy outside. Hayden Haddock's here to wind it down for us. So let's go ahead and check out this new single that just dropped today, Wind It Down by Hayden Haddock.
It's been one hell of a crazy week. I need to blow off a little steam. I thought about chasing that little white ball round in the Texas heat, or even heading to the bay to go wet a line and wait for that ride to not just start out where Friday night always ends. We always wind up right here at this same watering hole, where all of my friends are cracking the same cold beers and the same old jokes. Pick up lines and BS flying, the band's still playing too loud, but this is where we always wind up when it's time to wind it down. My buddy Joe drives a backhoe, Bob's president at the bank, Hank rides bulls and we're all pretty sure Sonny's in the CIA. We talk about what we'd all do if we hit the old Powerball, y'all. I'd disappear on an island somewhere, and after all the money was gone, I just wind up right here at this same watering hole, where all of my friends are cracking the same cold beers and the same old jokes. Pick up lines and BS flying, the band's still playing too loud, but this is where we always wind up when it's time to wind it down. Come on boys, line them all up and let's drink them all down. Guess some things never change around here. We wind up right here at this same watering hole, where all of my friends are cracking the same cold beers and the same old jokes. A good old boys Taj Mahal, there's fancier places around, but this is where we always wind up when it's time to wind it down. Yeah, I think it's time to wind it down.
Wow, loving that one.
So when Jen sent this song over to us and I got to check it out, I was so excited. We finally get to talk about a Hayden song on the show, and we also get to share it with all of you guys. So this song's got super strong verses, which is, you know, fairly uncommon in this scene. It reminded me a lot of like the Paisley, Dierks Bentley, early 2000s songwriting style, which I kind of miss. You know, the strong stories in those verses is something that we're kind of lacking these days. Another thing about this song that I really liked was the string arrangements that were there. It kind of made me feel like, you know, it was almost like I was in the room partying with the guys when they were making this thing happen.
Oh, it's such a good party song, and I love how it goes full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, that is my songs for the week. What do you got cooking for us?
I'm really excited. I got a couple of girls this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start off with Brandi Behlen. I wish he'd been drinking whiskey. I think I gently mentioned this song last week, but she's made a big move and lots of ads on the charts. But this song, first, I love her voice and her other music as well. But the funny thing about this, check it out and listen to it, because the whole twist to it is the wife is in denial and kind of, you know, wish he would have been drinking whiskey and unfortunately he wasn't drinking. He was speaking the truth. You know how sometimes the truth comes out when you're drinking. Well, that wasn't the case in this song. So check out Brandi's new single, I Wish He'd Been Drinking Whiskey.
Clever.
And then let's go to Hallettsville and talk about Jade Marie Patek. Actually, it's so interesting. She comes from a polka band family.
Really?
Yeah. I had to go listen to Roll Out the Barrel.
That's kind of funny with the name.
Yeah. I mean, because Patek from Hallettsville. We had Pateks where I grew up. Your mama probably even knows some Pateks.
Probably so.
But the thing is, it's like, I just think it's great that she came from a musical family, very traditional music that I grew up with. Everywhere we went in Sealy, Texas, there was polka band playing. And even when we went to wedding receptions, Roll Out the Barrel and apples, peaches, pumpkin pie, all that's going to get thrown in. But the name of her new single is Stranger. And it's a great song. It's kind of a slower song for me, but I like the whole concept of the song. I like the lyrics. I like the music. I like her voice. And I love, love, love her background.
Yeah.
Coming from Hallettsville and the family background.
And then you can't let that sick guitar solo go unspoken.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Just had to mention it. It's that dude rips. Sorry, I said that dude, but you know what I'm saying.
No.
Whoever that was.
You're right.
Shredder.
Yes. Awesome stuff there. So Jade Marie Patek. And then I love this attitude song from John Randall, Keep On Moving. And it's like people gonna say what they're gonna say. I'm gonna do. I mean, this is such a Helen song right here. Yeah. So it's the new John Randall. It's just been released. It's called Keep On Moving. What did you think?
I thought it was beautiful. So speaking of imagery and things like that, John just all these songs, you know, we talked about the record that him and Jack and Miranda put out recently, and he just has this incredible way of painting a picture and, you know, putting you in the scene. It's like you're watching a movie every time you're listening to one of his songs. And this is just another addition to his like incredible catalog.
Yeah, this is just another one. It's just, you just want to just turn it up and rip it and listen to it and then just put it in people's faces.
Exactly.
Certain people.
Absolutely.
I mean, not that applies to me, but it just, it was reminiscent of, you know, younger days and whatever, but I really enjoyed that.
I mean, it's angsty, but it's also like uplifting and, you know, motivating.
Very motivating.
Yeah.
Yes.
And speaking of songwriters, we've got an incredible episode next week. Honestly, I was blindsided. Like I had read about this guy a little bit before we had him on.
Oh,
but
wow.
This story was like insane. Just he'd be in the middle of this crazy story and my jaws dropped listening to you guys talk. And then he'd just jump into another thing. And it's like, what in the world? How are you topping this? So Dallas Burrow is going to be our guest next week. And then to add on to that, and I know you want to say some things about him, but to add on to that, back to John Randall. John Randall is our guest the following week. So you guys are going to be slapped around for a couple of weeks with some incredible songwriters.
Yes. And of course, I told Dallas this when we were going into the episode, but I had so much enjoyment prepping for his interview because he's so interesting, his background. And then I'm so glad I ran across that whole story about the Cherokee medicine man. Y'all got to tune in for crazy. Dallas Burrow. I know, them buzzard wings. That's all I would say about that.
I was like, what in the world? Like he's just like making this stuff up. Somebody wrote a book and he's reading it right now.
And he's so young and he has such an old soul. So everyone, please make sure you take some time to listen to the episode with Dallas Burrow that's coming up, and his music's amazing outside of all his stories. All right, let's take a look at the charts.
Do it.
On Texas Country Music chart, of course, looking at things that debuted this week, Jade Marie, she did debut. Kate Watson's Red Lipstick and a Cowboy debuted as well. Very good. They were very strong. Greatest Spin Increase, Bart Crow was in there. He has a new single, Bad Attitude. Jade Marie Patek was in there. Aaron Watson still consistently, he's zooming up the charts with Crash Landing. And then looking at the most added was Matthew Ryan, Drown in Alcohol. Mark Powell, You Look Like I Could Use a Drink. Remember, we talked about that Mark Powell song way back when it was first released. And then Jade Marie Patek, she also came in with the most ads, along with Wes Hayden. He has a new one called Getting Around. So that's just some ones that are really making some movement. Number one on Texas Country Music chart this week was number 2 last week. Number 1 this week, one of my favorites when it first came out, John Wolfe's Tequila Sundown. Randall King's number 2. He was number 1 last week with Record High. The Josh Abbott Band, Real Damn Good at number 3. Drew Fish Band's at number 4 with One Beer at a Time. And Chad Cook is at number 5 with Señorita Sky. Of course, they were at number 5 last week. But I mean, Tequila Sundown and Señorita Sky, I think probably has been my most played. CD Extraction, Texas, John Wolfe's at number 1 with Tequila Sundown. Number 2 is Randall King with Record High. Up from number 5 to number 3 is Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen with Rhinestone. Number 4 is Josh Abbott Band with Real Damn Good. And the Drew Fish Band, One Beer at a Time, is at number 5.
We need to get Drew on the show. You've said his name at least once every single week since we started this.
I remember when Drew Fish first was Drew Fish, because I mean the name was just intriguing when we first got his music, but he's solid. Cool. Very solid. Texas Regional Radio Report. Up from number 2 to number 1 this week is Drew Fish Band with One Beer at a Time. George Dukas is at number 2 with Cold Bud, our friend George Dukas. Josh Abbott Band at number 3 with Real Damn Good. Bree Bagwell is at number 4 with Heroes.
Oh, wow.
And then John Wolfe is at number 5 with Tequila Sundown. Nice. So that's a look at the charts for this week. And of course, we previewed a lot of those songs, had Bree on, had George Dukas on, so good stuff right there.
So I heard you had some fun with your buddies down there in Matagorda earlier this week.
Yes, Matagorda girls, we get together, we do really fun stuff. And it was funny. The great thing worked out because I got to watch the first part of the baseball game, and then we went to the beach and we had a scavenger hunt. And my friend Laura that hosted it, she had like this whole list. It was like certain color sea glass or coconut, or if you found a message in a bottle, which my dream has always been to find a message in a bottle. But there was like 12 of us. Mm-hmm. And that was the coolest thing I've ever done in a long time. We just had our little bags and we had our little list and did our scavenger hunt. Nice. And so here's how I had my good friends with me, because we all kind of loaded up in different Jeeps and trucks and headed to the beach. Mm-hmm. So we were like, well, why don't we just team up, the three of us? Well, we didn't know that would be called cheating. I called it strategy. Strategy. Others called it cheating.
Anything as an Astros fan is cheating, right?
Yeah. So I don't know exactly how the awards went down for scavenger hunt, because I got right back home and I told the girls, I said, look, I'm sorry, I have got to go check out the game. And of course, that was the one I got home for us to see the win and see the celebration. And then later on, we went downstairs, and I love that game, Left, Right, Center. Have you ever played that?
I mean, it sounds familiar, but couldn't say what it is.
It's a game I can play because I'm just not real good with things like that, but I tend to do pretty good with that one.
Remind us what it is.
Anyway, well, you roll these three like dice looking things, and you start out with $3 bills. Mm-hmm. And then like if you roll a L, then you give the person to your left $1, or if you roll a R, the person to the right. And then if you get dots, then you're safe. And then if you only have $1 left, you only get to roll one dice. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and we were jamming, listening to Texas on Tap music, and
nice.
Having some cocktails. It was fun.
I guess because I've been watching that freaking Squid Game show on Netflix, I was thinking it'd be some kind of kids game like Red Light, Green Light or something. It sounds like it'd be like a little kid game, but you're over there kid gambling, I guess.
We should $3. No, we could not have played Red Light, Green Light. We would have been falling down, rolling, and that wouldn't have been good.
I guess for those of you who have seen that show, that's not good imagery right there.
Don't know.
Oh man. All right. Well, you got any fun stuff going on this weekend?
I'm not even sure what's going on this weekend.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Oh, okay, I'm telling you, possibly offshore. Because we're going to have some flat seas and north wind, and that cool front's coming in. And I do want to mention something. Our friend Carson Jeffrey, his new album release, Buzzed Brain Part 2, comes out over the weekend. It comes out Saturday, actually. And I know this airs on Friday, so make sure you support Carson and check that out. I know he had talked about it. When we had him on the podcast. And then I saw where Trent Cowie is doing some kind of caption this picture on his social media, and it's hilarious. I've been following to win like 2 tickets to one of his shows or something.
He's playing at Do Coffee in the Woodlands tonight actually. So I would normally be there, but I'm going to be in your neck of the woods this evening at the Austin County Fair watching our buds John Stork and Roger Krager and Kevin Fowler. So cool. Going to be missing the Cowie show, but if any of you guys are in the Houston or Woodlands area, go hop over to Do Coffee and check out that show.
Yeah, or go to my home county fair. The county fair I grew up on.
Not too far. Yeah, there's also another cool show going on in Montgomery Saturday. I believe it's just like the Montgomery something. I don't think it's a fair, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but William Clark Green's playing, and then a bunch of cool local artists. So I'm going to try to make it out there. I'm not sure if that's going to work out for me, but anybody who's out there, definitely go check that thing out.
Oh, let me tell you, speaking of William Clark Green, okay, everybody knows I love Wade Bowen. I love William Clark Green. And a friend of mine that lives in the Smithville area, I was ready to jump through the phone and just strangle him, because he was like, guess where we are? We're watching William Clark Green and Wade Bowen. And he kept sending me videos.
Oh, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
Rude.
But I got to enjoy the videos. And then finally I said, send me some more, after I got over the initial shock that, I wish I was there so bad. I wish I was there.
Yeah.
And then once I got over the initial shock, then I started like bugging the crap out of him. I could tell he was like, okay, I ain't sending her no more videos. She's cut off. I didn't send her what I sent her.
Right.
But yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, well, it's Astros time. It's funny that it took 5 years for people to realize that we're not just a cheating bunch of scandalous boys, Yeah, ALCS 5 years in a row goes to show.
And I just wonder how my neighbors over in Brazoria County are feeling with their golden child that brought up that whole thing. the relief pitcher for the White Sox, which
Yeah.
I love the way.
What a guy.
But I love the way how Dusty put it. Dusty Baker said, he said something like, I'd never heard of his name till we played the White Sox. Go Dusty.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that all the guys are staying humble and they're killing it. Tucker is my MVP. This dude's nuts. I mean, I know that I'm a poser because I haven't started, I didn't start watching until pretty recently, but 3 years ago, I had faith in that guy, and he is just on one. It's insane, and I hope Myers is going to be okay.
Me too.
I don't know if there's any update on that yet. But man,
he plays so hard.
He's a monster. But I'm going to try and catch the first few innings today before I head over to the Austin County Fair, and then I'll be checking my phone.
Gosh, that's so crazy. That's kind of like how I grew up, except when I was growing up, back then in the old days, Astros really weren't going to the playoffs.
Right.
So we were watching someone else.
Sure.
But
fair enough.
that's so awesome. Awesome. You just keep me clued in on how things are going in Belleville.
Definitely. I'm going to go try and to talk with our buddy Kevin and see about getting him on the show.
Yeah, just remind him about Sister Helen over here. He'll remember me.
Will do.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to make a quick shout out to my buddy David Daniels over in Dozier City, Louisiana. Met him a couple weeks back over there at their new venue and podcast studio. And I just wanted to shout out his podcast called Red Dirt University. They're pretty much doing the same thing as us. And I just think that it's good for all of us to kind of be a community, the same way we are with Jen and all these other people doing things within the industry. David had some cool guests on recently, so go check out those episodes. And I know he's been sending some people our way as well. So what's up, David? I'll come hang out with you soon again, but keep it up, man.
Well, and the great thing is we're all in this together because we all have that passion, and it's let's spread the word and get the word out for these deserving musicians and singers and songwriters, and
Absolutely.
It's good stuff. Yeah,
those guys are part of a big compound out there called East Bank Mafia, and they've got a restaurant called Bojack's, which has an insane story. I was telling Bo, the owner, that he needs to have somebody make a Netflix documentary about it, and I would watch that thing every day because it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to give them a little shout out and some recognition because they've got some crazy stuff in the works at the venue, and David's doing some really cool stuff with the podcast. So that's all I got for you this week. You got some drama going on.
This is, and I was talking about how our weather was so chill.
Yeah.
It's just drizzling, but I don't know, something fell and banged, and I don't know if the rest of the palapa fell down from the hurricane, and then we got this lightning stuff going on. So.
All right, we'll go take care of business. I will see you on Tuesday with Dallas Borough.
It's a good one. All right, cheers, Kyle.
Cheers.
Well, you can go to hell. I'll go to Texas. I've had my fill of every place but home. Well, take away these cities.